Okay, today we are starting with the first. We'll just recap what we have discussed in the last class, and then we are going to discuss the further concepts. So, I hope most of you have joined by now. So, let's recapitulate. Yesterday, we have discussed the meaning of person, and we have discussed the meaning of assessee, right? So, as per law, every person is an assessee who is liable to pay any tax or any penalty, or who is representing someone for the tax purposes will be considered as deemed to be an assessee, and the person who has committed any default, but at present he is not having any income, but still he will be termed as an assessee. So when we talk about a person is declared as an assessee, so there are certain income which are exempt from tax. So if the particular person is having income more than the maximum exemption limit, he is liable to pay tax. And this particular tax is calculated on total income of the particular assessee. And total income, we have discussed that when the income tax provisions we talk about, the income tax has divided the heads of income into five major heads, and every person who is earning the income in all the heads and that particular income sum total is taken into account, that becomes gross total income. And when we allow the deductions under chapter 6 from the gross total income, we arrive at the total income. And now from the assessment year 21-22, we'll first discuss the concept of the previous year and assessment year. Then I'll tell you that there are two options of adoption of the tax rates as per the old regime and as per the new regime. So these technical things we will be discussing in tomorrow's class. But when we talk about the tax, income tax, so it is the direct tax which is calculated on the total income of the assessee on the basis of his residential status for the previous year. So this residential status is considered or is calculated on the basis of certain rules and provisions as per the Income Tax Act, and generally it is on the basis of the physical stay or the physical presence of the assessee during the relevant previous year. So everywhere we are going to discuss about the concept of the assessment year and the previous year, and every transaction will be relevant with these two concepts. So we will be discussing these two concepts. So in the yesterday's class, we have discussed the basic understanding or structure of the paper, meaning of person, meaning of assessee, meaning of income, meaning of gross total income, and meaning of total income. Now we are moving forward to the concept of previous year and assessment year. Now, when we talk about these two terms, as per the terminology, it looks very simple, but sometimes, we may make mistake in understanding this concept. When we talk about the accounts, you must have seen that there is a uniform period. So that can be a calendar year, that is starting from the 1st January till 31st of December, or that can be a financial year that starts from 1st of April till 31st of March. And this talks about 1st of January till 31st of December. So as per the accounting concepts, the organization, be it exist as running the business as an individual or running the business in form of a firm or any kind of business organization, they have the option to maintain their accounts as per the calendar year or the financial year. But for the tax purposes or whenever they are filing their return, so they have to file the return on the basis of the financial year. So over a period of time, all the organizations prefer to adopt the financial year for maintaining the books of accounts. So when we talk about the uniformity of period, so tax calculation, filing of return, the calculation of the income as per the provision must be on some uniform basis. So this uniform basis is called as a financial year. So when we say that this financial year, the financial year starts from 1st of April every year and ends on 31st of March next year. So now we have to understand the concept of this financial year from the income tax point of view, which classify it into the concept of the previous year and the assessment year. So as per income tax provisions, it is said previous year is the year in which the income is earned, right? So this particular year is the financial year in which we have earned the income, and this particular income would be assessed for tax liability in next financial year, and this next financial year would be termed as an assessment year, right? So in this case, what happens that when we talk about the concept of previous year, so it is the year in which we have earned the income. So for us, the income of earned during the previous year 2021 would be our previous year. It means the person, the assessee who has earned the income during this relevant period would be considered that he has earned the income in the previous year, starting from 1st of April, ending on 31st of March. So our previous year would be 2020, 2021, right? And this is assessed in the next financial year, that is 2021 and 2022. So for our course, relevant previous year is 2021 and assessment year is 21-22. This we have to understand carefully, and everywhere we might use the words interchangeably, calculate the income for the previous year 2021 or assess the tax liability for the assessment year 21-22. So it will remain the means we are talking about the same financial year, that is 2021, in which the income has been earned. So if we talk about the definition of the previous year, so we say previous year is the year in which the income is being earned, and that starts from 1st of April and ends on 31st of March every year. And this particular, all the assesses needs to follow a uniform previous year, right? So this is a period of 12 months where in which the income is earned. But in certain cases, the previous year can be of less than 12 months. That is, suppose Mr. A has joined the job on 1st of September 2020. He was not employed before that. Then in that case, in his case, the previous year would be from 1st of September 2020 to 31st of March 2021, and next year onwards he will be having the following the previous year 1st April 2021 to 31st of March 2022. So every financial year plays a dual role, that is that for a particular year it will be considered as previous year with respect to the earned income, and when the income is assessed, this will be known as the assessment year for the in context of the previous year, previous financial year. So one particular year would be considered as that we say that 2021 is our previous year, 21, 22 is our assessment year. But this 2022, 21, 22 will become previous year for the next financial year, 22, 23. So for this assessment year 21, 22 will become previous year. So 21, 22 or every year is playing a dual role. In context of the previous financial year, it will be considered as the assessment year, and with context to that income is earned in this relevant year. So in context to the next financial year, it will play a role of the previous year. So we have to understand the difference between the previous year and assessment year as such, that previous year is that financial year in which the income is being earned, and assessment year is that financial year in which the assessment of the income earned in the previous financial year is being assessed. So previous year, every assessee is required to follow the uniform previous year, but in certain situations it can be for less than 12 months. But ultimately what we have to understand is that whatever amount of income is being earned in this particular 12 months, तो चाहे वो सितंबर से मार्च में इनकम अर्न कर रहा है, लेकिन उस पर्टिकुलर केस के अंदर इनकम तो हमारी इसी पर्टिकुलर 12 मंथ्स में है. Similarly, if a person has started the business in the mid of the previous year, there is that Mr. A has started his business on 1st of December 2020. So the previous year for his business would be for 4 months. That is the income earned from December till March. So March उसके बाद जब अप्रैल से स्टार्ट होगा, अप्रैल के बाद दिस इज 21, सो अप्रैल 21 से नेक्स्ट मार्च 22 तक वो नेक्स्ट प्रीवियस ईयर हो जाएगा. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम से वो प्रीवियस ईयर यूनिफॉर्म हो जाएगा. सो इस केस में हमें ये समझना है कि प्रीवियस ईयर लेस देन 12 मंथ्स का हो सकता है, बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द assessment year is of strictly 12 month पीरियड. उसमें कोई वेरिएशन नहीं है, उसमें किसी भी डेट का चेंज नहीं है. It will strictly start on 1st of April and will end on 31st of March. So for our case, 1st April 2021 से 31st of March 2022 जो हमारा रेलिवेंट असेसमेंट ईयर है वो हमारा 21 और 22 है. ये चीज़ आपको अच्छे से याद रखनी है. सो इट मीन्स कि जो पिछले साल में 20 और 21 में एक असेसी ने इनकम अर्न करी, चाहे वो उसने सैलरी के हेड में अर्न करी, हाउस प्रॉपर्टी के हेड में अर्न करी, बिजनेस या प्रोफेशन में अर्न करी, बिजनेस और प्रोफेशन में अर्न करी, या फिर कैपिटल गेन्स में अर्न करी, या फिर इनकम फ्रॉम अदर सोर्सेज में अर्न करी, वो किसी भी हेड के अंदर इनकम फॉल करे, दैट इज सेकेंडरी. बट जो भी इनकम उसने पिछले साल 2021 में अर्न करी वो आपके रेलिवेंट असेसमेंट ईयर में उसकी असेसमेंट होगी. अब उसकी असेसमेंट होने का क्या मतलब है कि वी विल कैलकुलेट द टैक्स लायबिलिटी, राइट. तो वो टैक्स लायबिलिटी जब हम कैलकुलेट करेंगे तो हम उसमें देखेंगे कि उसने कितना ऑलरेडी टैक्स पे किया हुआ है और कितना उसका रिमेनिंग है. तो अगर उसने ज़्यादा टैक्स पे किया हुआ है तो वो हमारा टैक्स रिफंड बन जाएगा. अगर कोई बैलेंस टैक्स लायबिलिटी बनती है तो दैट टैक्स लायबिलिटी इज टू बी पेड. तो वो सेटलमेंट जो है वो आपकी असेसमेंट ईयर में आपकी आती है. यस प्लीज आस्क योर क्वेरी बेटा.
मैम आपने बोला कि अगर हमारा टैक्स हम बाई चांस एक्स्ट्रा पे कर देते हैं सो इट बिकम्स अ टैक्स रिफंड.
यस.
मैम हाउ कैन समवन पे एक्सेस टैक्स?
Sometimes what happens beta, that we will discuss in detail at later stage, that when we talk about the salary head, तो उस केस के अंदर सैलरी हेड में आपकी जो इनकम है टैक्स है वो आपकी आपको आफ्टर टैक्स पेमेंट मिलती है. तो उस चीज़ को कहते हैं टैक्स डिडक्टेड एट सोर्स. सो इफ आई माई सैलरी इज से X amount. So in from this X amount, tax liability is deducted because employer has the liability to pay tax to the income tax authority on the behalf of the employee. So there can be certain difference in the calculation, or there can be a certain situation that at the initial stage more tax has been deducted, but at later stage you have made certain savings because of which you got certain exemptions, जिससे आपकी tax liability, final tax liability reduce हुई. For many many years, every year I am getting refund of certain amount. So it happens because there can be certain difference in the calculation. तो जब फाइनल असेसमेंट होता है, तो फाइनल असेसमेंट में जब आपकी ग्रॉस टोटल इनकम कैलकुलेट होती है, उसके अंदर आपको डिडक्शंस मिलती हैं और आपकी टोटल इनकम आती है, तो टोटल इनकम के ऊपर हम टैक्स कैलकुलेट करते हैं, राइट. तो जब हम उस पर टैक्स कैलकुलेट करते हैं, तो उस टैक्स में से वी रिड्यूस द टैक्स डिडक्टेड एट सोर्स एंड टैक्स payment made already. For example, our tax liability becomes, say, 2 lakh rupees. My tax liability becomes 2 lakh rupees, right? From this, there is the TDS, probably 1 lakh 80,000 rupees already deducted. I might have paid as per I have paid the self assessment tax, मैंने payment कर दी 25,000 रुपीज. तो अब इस केस में मेरी टैक्स फाइनल टैक्स लाइबिलिटी बन रही है 2 लाख रुपीज, लेकिन मैंने पे कर दिया 2,05,000 रुपीज. सो आई एम एंटाइटल फॉर टैक्स रिफंड ऑफ 5,000 रुपीज, राइट. सो इस सिचुएशन में आई विल गेट माई अमाउंट बैक, विल बी कंसिडर्ड, विल बी नोन एज टैक्स रिफंड. और सपोज यहाँ पर मैंने 25,000 की जगह 15,000 पे किया होता 1,80,000 के साथ, तो मेरी टैक्स लाइबिलिटी बनती थी 2 लाख रुपीज. मैंने पेमेंट की 1,95,000 रुपीज. सो 5,000 विल बिकम टैक्स पेएबल, जिसको मुझे अभी पे करना है. और अगर मैं पे नहीं करती, so there is going to be the interest will be charged on the delay of the payment. So if I won't make payment at all, so I will be considered as assessee in default, क्योंकि जो मेरी टैक्स लाइबिलिटी, जो मेरे ड्यूज बनते हैं, वो मैंने उसमें अभी अथॉरिटीज को पे करना है. तो इवन दो नेक्स्ट ईयर आई एम नॉट हैविंग एनी इनकम, but I will have to pay this tax, so I will be considered as assessee in default. Is it clear, beta? Concept is clear? Okay. So now,
I have a doubt.
yes, beta, please.
But the fund is paid in the next year, right?
Right.
Not in the year that we've earned that income in.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
This is how it is being paid, how it is being calculated. For example, there is say A has earned certain amount of income in the different heads. So this earned income is there, right? So there is a concept which is known as advance payment of tax. So when we earn the income, so we generally pay the tax. There is going to be the advance payment on calculation basis. So that may vary from the exact calculation. So when the actual assessment is being done, when we file our return of income to the tax authorities, we disclose our details of income to the tax authorities, and the calculation is being done, and then that time the final assessment determines that how much tax was due and how much we have paid. So if there is a difference on any side, then the payment will be made by either of the party, or if there is no difference, it will lead to the final settlement of the your return of income, right? So these concepts we'll discuss one by one. When we'll go to the different heads of income, we will learn these things. Yeah, any other query?
Excuse me, ma'am.
हाँ जी बेटा.
Ma'am, do we get any interest on the amount that is refunded?
No. If there is, when our refund is due, when the final settlement is being made, then that point in time, the refund is to be paid within a particular specified period as per the act. If the authorities are unable to pay that refund within that specified period, then the interest will be paid on that amount, delayed payment.
Okay, ma'am.
Right? Any other query?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let's now the concept of the previous year and assessment year is clear to all of you. Previous year is one in which the income is earned, and assessment year is one in which income is assessed, right? So in the assessment year, the final assessment is being done, and when the income is earned, so here the advance payment of tax is also being taken into account, right? Previous year can be for less than 12 months period. Assessment year is strictly of the 12 months period only, without any variation in the two dates, right? Then there a concept comes that as per income tax rules, it is being said that income earned in previous year will be assessed in next financial year termed as assessment year, right? Now there can be a certain situation in which we are not going to wait for the assessment year or next financial year for the final settlement. So these situations will be known as the exceptions to the rule. So as per this rule, income will be assessed in same financial year in which it is earned. It means that the income, if we are talking about our previous year 2021, तो उस ईयर में जो इनकम अर्न करी है वो उसी ईयर में ही टैक्स की उसकी फाइनल सेटलमेंट हो जाएगी. So this is called as the exceptional situation. अदरवाइज जनरल रूल क्या कहता है कि जो हम एक फाइनेंशियल ईयर में इनकम अर्न करते हैं उसकी फाइनल असेसमेंट नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में होती है, जिसको हम असेसमेंट ईयर कहते हैं. But there are certain situations or certain circumstances where we are not going to wait for the next financial year to come for the final settlement. These are called as the exceptions to the rule, in which income will be assessed in the previous year itself. So the very first exception to the rule is income earned by a non-resident from a shipping business. Now, all of us are aware of that if we talk about the companies, shipping companies, they are coming on the different ports, they are taking the goods for carriage and people from the particular port, and they are charging the money. So in this case, if a particular non-resident is a person, as of now you can understand as the person who is not residing in India. So income earned from the Indian port, taking the people to their destination, or taking the goods as carriage and charging some money. So in that particular situation, they are earning the income. So now next financial year, when we are going to make the settlement and all, probably we are not aware of that the person, who is the person or in which country he will be. So that time, are we going to find that income a person and chase that person to pay the tax liability if any settlement is due? So in this case, when the income is earned from a shipping business by a non-resident, so in that case the rate is fixed as 7.5% of revenue generated. On that, the amount generated, 7.5% will be treated as an income, and on that the tax will be calculated. So the tax will be charged in the same year when the particular assessee has earned that particular income. Second is that the persons leaving country. There can be a situation that the people might leave the country and with an intention not to come back. So we are very well aware of that whenever we apply for the visa or when we wish to leave the country, so we need certain NOCs and certain documents that there are no dues with respect to any of the payments to the government or to any of the authorities. So when the people are leaving country with an intent not to come back, so in that case, whatever income they have earned in the previous year, they have to make the final payment or final settlement is done in the same year itself. So if in these cases, they are not going to wait for the next year to calculate the tax liability, right? The third situation is transfer of assets. When we talk about the transfer of assets, so there can be certain situation that a person is transferring the asset in the name of the other party with an intent to avoid the tax liability. So in these cases, the assessment will be done and the tax liability will be made in the same year, because next year the owner of the asset will be someone else. Then after that, there can be the in case of the body of individual and association of persons. Yes, I'll answer the question, just give me 2 minutes to cover this point. When we talk about body of individual and association of person, these are created entities, because when we say a person can be an individual, firm, HUF, LLP, artificial judicial person, body of individual, association of person as such. So yesterday also we have discussed that body of individual is that when for certain activities or for certain business, individuals have joined their hands together, it comes as a separate entity who is liable to pay tax. Similarly, when other than individual, other person, individual or a firm or LLP or a company, they've joined hand together for carrying out certain business activities, they will be termed as association of person. So they have come into existence for a specific reason, for a specific task. So if in the previous year their work is over, their purpose is accomplished, so next year there will be no entity which will exist as body of individual or association of person. So in their case, the assessment, final assessment will be done in the same year when the income has been earned. And the last exception is continued business. So there can be a certain situation that a particular business is being discontinued in the previous year, and in that case next year that particular business form will not exist. So for in these cases also, the particular business assessment, income assessment will be done in the same year when it has been earned. Yes, please, you can ask your query one by one. First Rupashi and then Dheeraj.
Ma'am, if you could please repeat the third point again.
Transfer of assets.
Yeah.
Beta, what happens? I'll explain to you with the help of some example. If we say that we'll discuss later that when we talk about the income, so income is assessed on slab basis. So in most of the cases, we say that if the income is total income of a particular person comes to say rupees 12 lakhs. So in this case, what will happen? The first rupees 2,50,000, there is no tax liability. So this is nil. Then on next 2,50,000, there is tax is charged at a particular percentage. We'll discuss all these things in detail. So now what happens that if say Mr. A owns a particular house, and from the particular house he has earned the rental income of rupees 4,50,000. During the relevant previous year, he has transferred his house in the name of his wife, who is a homemaker, who is not earning any income as such. So in this case, what will happen? That A is having other income. So in A's case, first 2,50,000 would be exempt, right? And if we talk about his wife, say B, so in case 4,50,000 house is transferred in the name of the wife, so 4,50,000 will become her income. So in case of B, it is going to be exempt 2,50,000. So as per law, this is not permissible. So in case there is transfer of assets, तो उस केस में अगर आपकी रेवोकेबल ट्रांसफर है या वी विल डिस्कस ऑल दीज कंसेप्ट्स लेटर ऑन कि इनकम वापस क्लब हो जाती है, तो इस दीज थिंग्स आर नॉट अलाउड. सो इन केस देयर इज द ट्रांसफर ऑफ द एसेट्स, तो उस केस के अंदर जो इनकम की असेसमेंट है वो जब आप एसेट ट्रांसफर कर रहे हो तो उस एसेट से उस प्रीवियस ईयर में जितनी आपकी इनकम हुई है आपको उसकी सेटलमेंट असेसमेंट उसी ईयर में हो जाएगा. वी विल नॉट वेट फॉर द नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर टू कम टू मेक एन असेसमेंट. राइट? Yes, Tirath, you can ask your question now.
Ma'am, can you please
Yeah,
explain second and fourth point again?
one second. Second point is for people leaving the country. Suppose Mr. A is leaving the country, he is going abroad, and probably he will not come at all, or he will come after a long time. So in previous year, say he planned to go, and he has booked his ticket and he will be going on 31st of January 21, right? So whatever income he has earned from 1st April 2020 till 31st of January 21, he has to make all the tax payment, or all the complete assessment would be done in the year 2021 itself. He is not required that next year 2020 की जो income है 21, 22 22 में final assessment होगी. So in his case, we will not wait for the assessment year for the final calculations. तो previous year 2021 में उसने जितनी भी income earn करी है उसकी assessment, आपकी जो जितनी भी final tax liability है, कितनी payment कर दी, कितनी pending है या कोई refund है, every settlement would be done in the previous year itself, because we try to understand again कि income tax का rule कहता है कि जो हम एक साल में इनकम अर्न करते हैं उसकी फाइनल असेसमेंट टैक्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से नेक्स्ट ईयर में होती है, नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में, जिसको हम असेसमेंट ईयर कहते हैं. तो ये रिलेशन है 2 ईयर्स के बीच में कि एक साल में हमने इनकम अर्न करी 31st ऑफ मार्च तक, जो 1 अप्रैल से 31 मार्च तक, उसकी फाइनल असेसमेंट हमारी नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में हुई. तो उस पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन के अंदर जो हमने एडवांस टैक्स या बाकी टैक्स डिडक्ट हुआ पे कर दिया, लेकिन फाइनल सेटलमेंट जो हमारा क्लोज असेसमेंट होगी वो नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में होगी. लेकिन कुछ सिचुएशंस के अंदर इस केस में हम असेसमेंट ईयर की वेट नहीं करते. जो हमने इनकम प्रीवियस ईयर में अर्न करी उसकी फाइनल असेसमेंट उसी ईयर में होगी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर कोई नॉन रेजिडेंट आपका शिपिंग बिजनेस से, इंडियन पोर्ट से इनकम अर्न करता है, we will not wait for the next year for the final assessment. अगर कुछ लोग इंडिया छोड़ के जा रहे हैं, दे आर लिविंग द कंट्री, तो उन्होंने जो प्रीवियस ईयर में इनकम अर्न करी उन्हें उस प्रीवियस ईयर में है उस इनकम के ऊपर सारा टैक्स पे करना पड़ेगा. थर्डली, अगर कोई लोग अपनी एसेट्स ट्रांसफर करते हैं विद एन इंटेंट टू ट्रांसफर द इनकम टू अवॉइड द टैक्स लायबिलिटी, तो उस केस में एट द टाइम ऑफ ट्रांसफरिंग ऑफ एसेट्स फाइनल असेसमेंट, फाइनल सेटलमेंट हमें उसी साल में करनी होती है. Similarly, if the people are in form of association of person or body of individual, और उस particular entity की existence आपके previous year में खत्म हो रही है, तो उस केस में अब next year वो entity exist नहीं करेगी. तो जब आपकी entity exist नहीं करती तो क्या आप उसको sue कर सकते हो या आप उससे कुछ डिमांड कर सकते हो? नहीं. तो एसोसिएशन ऑफ पर्सन, बॉडी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल, अगर उनका पर्पस अकम्प्लिश हो गया प्रीवियस ईयर में, तो वी विल नॉट वेट फॉर द नेक्स्ट ईयर टू फॉर द फाइनल असेसमेंट. तो उसी ईयर में उनकी टैक्स असेसमेंट हो जाती है. सिमिलरली, अगर कोई बिजनेस डिसकंटिन्यू हो रहा है तो उस केस में असेसिंग ऑफिसर के पास चॉइस होती है कि वो उस डिसकंटिन्यूड बिजनेस की सेटलमेंट उसी ईयर में कर दे या नेक्स्ट ईयर में करे, बट जनरली इट फॉल्स इन द एक्सेप्शनल कैटेगरी. So now all the points clear to all of you?
Ma'am,
Yes,
I just
ma'am.
have one doubt.
Yes, beta.
Ma'am, after the property has been transferred to B, so अगर वो 2,50,000 की स्लैब के अंडर है तो उसको टैक्स चार्ज नहीं होगा, बट द प्रॉपर्टी इज बीइंग ट्रांसफर्ड उस ईयर ए को टैक्स पे करना पड़ेगा, राइट?
राइट, यस. इस केस में क्या होता है, 2 सिचुएशंस होती हैं. एक क्लबिंग ऑफ इनकम का केस होता है जिसमें हम विदाउट कंसिडरेशन अगर हम एसेट ट्रांसफर कर रहे हैं तो वो इनकम हमारी ट्रांसफरर की इनकम में ऐड बैक हो जाती है। और दूसरी सिचुएशन होती है कि दैट व्हेन वी आर ट्रांसफरिंग सम एसेट फॉर सम कंसिडरेशन, तो उस केस में उस पर्टिकुलर एसेट से रिलेटेड जो भी इनकम है उसकी सेटलमेंट आपको उसी ईयर में करनी पड़ती है। ठीक है, सो मोर विल गो फर्दर एंड मोर कॉन्सेप्ट्स विल कम, विल डिस्कस इन डिटेल,
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
right? Right. So
Excuse
now
me,
I would
ma'am.
like to, yes, beta.
Ma'am, in this case, ma'am, transfer of assets, ma'am, why A is exempted to give tax on 2,50,000 amount?
No, no. For every SSC, the income is exempt, and every SSC, because we'll discuss the tax rates in the next class. So right now, let's leave this point. ठीक है? So वो tax
Okay, ma'am.
system है, tax calculate करने का system है. Okay, are you able to see the PDF document, chapter 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's go quickly. You'll feel comfortable what we have discussed till now. So tax rates we'll discuss in the next class, right? I think this is this one. Now it is zoomed and it's clear, right? So this we have discussed that when we talk about the scheme of taxation. So in this particular case, every person whose total income in the previous year exceeds the maximum amount which is not chargeable to tax. So in normal case or in most of the cases, 2,50,000 is the maximum amount which is not chargeable to tax. So that's why I have taken that amount. तो अगर आप 2,50,000 से ज़्यादा income earn कर रहे हो previous year में, and that is the total income, taxable income, and taxable income, total income का हम meaning discuss कर चुके हैं कि under all the 5 heads and after deduction under section 80 to 80. तो उसके बाद जो हमारी टोटल इनकम आती है, तो अगर एवरी पर्सन, मीनिंग ऑफ पर्सन वी हैव डिस्कस, सो एवरी पर्सन हुज टोटल इनकम of previous year exceeds maximum amount which is not chargeable to tax is an assessee and chargeable to income tax in the assessment year as per the rules or rates prescribed in the Finance Act or Income Tax Act for the relevant assessment year, right? So it means that in these 3 lines only we have discussed all the concepts: meaning of income, meaning of gross total income, meaning of total income, meaning of person, meaning of assessee, meaning of previous year, meaning of assessment year. So the basic concept which we have discussed till now are covered in this particular one paragraph or 3 lines, right? So in this case, the total income will be determined on the basis of his residential status in India. So that will, how we determine the residential status, what is the impact on computation of total income, all these things we'll discuss in the next chapter. Then these points already explained to you, concept of TDS is already shared with you, right? So then there comes the important concept. An important concept, meaning of person, comes where we have discussed about the company, HUF, individual, firm or LLP as well, plus association of person, body of individual, local authority. Local authority में जैसे आपकी पंचायत हो गया, म्यूनसिपल अथॉरिटीज हो गए, गवर्नमेंट हो गई, उसमें आ जाता है. देन एवरी आर्टिफिशियल जुडिशियल पर्सन is covered in the meaning of person. So then the meaning of it's given in detail that we have already discussed. The details for body of individual and association of person was required to be discussed, that we have discussed. Then artificial judicial persons we have discussed. So in this case, if we talk about University of Delhi, so any assessee person who is not covered in the earlier categories, and but it exists as an entity under some particular act, so that particular the entity will fall under the case of artificial judicial person. So then there is a small exercise that which are the different entities are given and which type of person it is. So if there is a university is given, so university is artificial judicial person. There is a private limited company, so it will become a company. There is a public company, it will fall as a company. And there are A and B are the legal representative of C. So after C, they are carrying the business without entering into a partnership. So two individuals have joined hands together to run a business, so it will become body of individual. So there, if there is a partnership firm, it will become a firm. If organization is registered as LLP, it will become LLP. If it is a family business, it will be known as the HUF. And if it is in a form of a say MCD, local authority, panchayat, it will be considered as a local authority, right? Then the meaning of assessment year we have discussed. Our assessment year is 21-22, starting of 1st April 21, ending on 31st of March 22. तो जो पिछले प्रीवियस ईयर 1st अप्रैल 2020 से 31st ऑफ मार्च 2021 तक जो इनकम हमारी अर्न हुई है प्रीवियस ईयर में, वो इनकम आपकी फॉलोइंग फाइनेंशियल ईयर में टैक्स होगी, जिसको हम असेसमेंट ईयर कहते हैं. सो प्रीवियस ईयर का कॉन्सेप्ट हमने डिस्कस कर लिया, दैट इज 1st अप्रैल 2020 से 31st ऑफ मार्च 21. So there is a rule that all the assessees are required to follow a uniform previous year, that is the financial year. So this will be used for the income tax purposes. So in this particular case, the financial year will end on 31st of March, but in certain situation, if the assessee is maintaining the books on the basis of the calendar year, but for tax purposes, it will be financial year and not the calendar year. This concept we have already discussed. Then other than this, we have also discussed that there can be a particular assessee or particular situation where there is the previous year is not starting from 1st of April, but you have always you are required to keep in mind कि जो भी इस पर्टिकुलर पीरियड में इनकम अर्न हुई है वो आपके प्रीवियस ईयर में फॉल करेगी. तो अगर कोई नया बिजनेस सेटअप हुआ है या नई जॉब और नया सोर्स ऑफ इनकम हुआ है, तो उस केस के अंदर आपका प्रीवियस ईयर उस पर्टिकुलर टाइम पीरियड से 12 महीने से कम हो जाता है, एंड इट विल स्टार्ट ऑन द फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ व्हेन द न्यू सोर्स ऑफ इनकम हैज स्टार्टेड, राइट? Then after that the illustration is given, which we have already discussed. Say it is given that he has joined the college on 1st of August 2020, तो उस केस में 1st अगस्त से 31st ऑफ मार्च तक हो जाएगा. फिर यूनिफॉर्म प्रीवियस ईयर स्टार्ट हो जाएगा 1st अप्रैल 21 से नेक्स्ट 22 तक, ठीक है? Then there are again the rule that what are the cases where income of the previous year is assessed in the same year. So ये हमने अभी exceptions discuss करी थी कि as per the normal rule, income earned in the previous year is assessed or charged to tax in the immediately succeeding year, which is known as assessment year. However, in certain situation, it can be taxed in the same year in which it is earned. So therefore, the assessment year and previous year is the same financial year for the exceptional situation. तो जो हमारा प्रीवियस ईयर 2021 है, अगर हमने उसी ईयर में इनकम को, बिकॉज ये हमारा प्रीवियस ईयर है, तो एक्सेप्शनल केसेस में अगर हमने उस इनकम को असेस किया सेम ईयर में, तो वो उस इनकम्स के लिए असेसमेंट ईयर भी बन जाएगा, राइट? सो दीज एक्सेप्शनल सिचुएशंस वी हैव डिस्कस. शिपिंग बिजनेस ऑफ नॉन रेजिडेंट, in this case 7.5% of the amount of fare, freight, etc. shall be deemed to be income of such assessee on which income tax will be charged. तो जितना भी टोटल रेवेन्यू हुआ है उसका 7.5% एक आपकी जो फिगर है वो आपकी इनकम मानी जाएगी, और उस इनकम के ऊपर टैक्स इम्पोज होगा जिसकी सेटलमेंट आपको बिफोर लिविंग द पोर्ट करनी है. तो उस केस में नेक्स्ट ईयर की वेट नहीं की जाएगी, ठीक है? सो इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस द फाइनल असेसमेंट विल बी डन बाय द असेसिंग ऑफिसर. असेसिंग ऑफिसर कौन होता है? जो आपकी इनकम और आपकी डिटेल्स को देख के असेस करता है. फिर उसके बाद आपका आ गया असेसमेंट ऑफ पर्सन लिविंग इंडिया. तो उस केस में द पर्सन इफ दे आर लिविंग द कंट्री, तो उस केस के में आपको उसी ईयर में जितनी आपने उस पीरियड में इनकम अर्न करी, आपको उसके ऊपर टैक्स उसी साल में पे करना है. देन इफ एसोसिएशन ऑफ पर्सन, body of individual, artificial judicial person have been entered into a venture, joint venture or any particular purpose they have joined hands and that purpose is accomplished in the previous year, then in that case if this dissolution और एक्सपायरी ऑफ देयर एंटिटी इज हैपनिंग, तो उसी साल में उनकी इनकम असेस हो जाएगी. Then there is, if the person is likely to transfer property to avoid tax. तो जहाँ पे any person is transferring his assets with a view to avoid any payment of his tax liability, then the total income of such person for the period from the expiry of the previous year for that assessment year till the date when the assessing officer commence proceedings shall be chargeable to tax in the same assessment year. So we are not going to wait for the next year. Last exception is discontinued business. So if a particular business is being discontinued, so it can be assessed in the same financial year itself, and the tax will be charged at the rates which are enforced as per the advance tax payable in the financial year. So the tax rates and the other requirements calculation we will be discussing in the next class. So the maximum amount of tax and the categories we will be covering in the next class. So if you have doubt, because whatever we have discussed today, be it the concept of the previous year or financial year, the rule of charging of income of previous year in the financial year, or the exceptions to the rule, all these things we have covered today. So if you have any doubt related to these topics, you can ask your doubts, and we will be discussing the tax rates and the computation in the next class, right? Yes, let me see the chat box. Any queries there? Yeah.